Hello, this is Artie Astor here with B Sharp and C. It's been a while since I've done an episode. I've taken a little bit of a hiatus. As you can see in the background, I now have a saxophone, and I've been learning the saxophone and I've been composing music and putting saxophone in some of my songs, and it's actually fun. I love it. I think I found my spirit instrument. And don't mind me right now. I live in Orlando, Florida. It's like overcast right now, and the sun is kind of like coming in and out of the clouds. You know what? Let me see if I can do this. Don't know if that helps, if that makes it better, but hopefully the sun shining on my face won't be that much of a distraction. But yeah, so we're back with B Sharp and C, and today's episode, I want to talk about an artist that I think is extremely underrated. Underrated as a guitar player, but also underrated as a songwriter and just an overall musician. And he's a very humble guy. I actually did a whole podcast episode about him as an artist, and I mentioned a few songs, and I actually reached out to him and contacted him, and he's a pretty big name in the blues world. And interestingly, he traveled with the Blues Breakers for a while, and after Clapton left, he's considered to be the best guitar player since Clapton left the Blues Breakers, and that would be John Mayall in the Blues Breakers. But what's interesting is this artist here, Rocky Athas. I wanna just focus on one song. I find this song to be one of the most underrated blues songs out there right now. It's an amazing song. It's the song "Miracle," and I'm just gonna start it. And I know what everyone is going to say as soon as I start the song. Everyone's going to come in and be like, well, hold on a second. This sounds like Jimi Hendrix, or this sounds like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Well, it is Texas blues, which, Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of mastered after he started. Stevie Ray Vaughan really liked Hendrix's sound. And then Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of mastered that sound and turned it into something personal. And it became a really iconic sound for Texas blues. So it's not Rocky Athas deciding I'm just going to copy Jimi Hendrix or I'm going to copy Stevie Ray Vaughan. He's just digging in to this genre. So the introduction is really nice. And yes, it is reminiscent of SRV and Hendrix, but listen to this. Listen to the song. There's two guitar tracks there.
Where does love go when it's over? Does it vanish in thin air? Or wait around for another lover so we can learn again to care?
All right, let me just stop it right there for a second. You have Larry Samford on vocals, and his voice is like gritty honey. It's smooth but gritty all at once. This guy does a masterful job. And this is a blues song in the key of E minor. And what's interesting is he does not go when he plays the fifth, he does not play the major fifth, he plays the minor fifth. So he throws in that, if you're looking in the key of E minor, it's the D, the flat 7, not the D sharp, which would be the natural 7. When he goes down to the fifth, he plays the B minor. He does not play B major. And I've seen a lot of artists do that in blues. In fact, there's not a B major, in this song, or a major fifth in this song. And we'll see later he changes keys. But what I think is interesting is that it just really flows. So we can see it's a very interesting chord progression. It's basically 1, flat 7, flat 6, and then 5, but he stays with the minor when he hits 5, and before he resolves back to the 1, which is interesting because you're jumping from the flat 7 to the 1. That third in the 5 chord is the flat 7 of 1. It's not the natural 7 of E, right? It's not the D sharp. So what ends up happening is it's a different sound, but I find people that focus on vocal melodies do that a lot. They like to sing that flat third in the 5 chord and not the natural third, and I like that sound. So that's what you get with this right now. And then of course it jumps up and then it goes 4, 5, 1. So it's
over. Does it vanish in thin air?
1,
Or wait around
flat 7,
for another lover?
flat 6, stays on it, flat 6,
we can learn
5,
again to care.
1.
Could you be my miracle?
And now it's just 4, 5, 1.
Come to save my life.
And if you notice, if I play the natural 7,
Will you heal my heart?
he's not playing that chord. He's playing the B minor. And then he adds in the flat 6 there. Well, actually the flat 7.
Cut me like a knife.
And then goes back to 1. So it's essentially 1, flat 7, flat 6, 5, 1, flat 7, flat 6, 5, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, flat 7,
Now I'm
1.
a man that needs a woman. They seem to put me in a spell. And I have tried love time and time again. And time again I've been through hell.
We can see what he's doing here, and I love that background organ.
Could you be my miracle?
And this song is a perfect mix.
Have you come to save my life?
And I'll tell you even why the song becomes better in a second. So the song keeps on going. It keeps on going. And it's interesting because we have so much going on here in this song that organ is kind of just in and out throughout the whole entire song, which is actually really nice to hear. And then he's not doing much with that guitar. He's just kind of comping, just doing a little bit here and there, and it's panned over to the right ear. And if you listen, you can feel that this is really organ, bass, and drums with Larry Samford's awesome voice. Ready?
Now I'm a man that needs a woman.
And the guitar's here. Organ is up here somewhere. Larry Samford's voice is right down the middle.
And I have tried love time and time again. And time again I've been through hell.
So we can hear, and then the organ breathes.
Could you be my miracle?
It risps you, it breathes you into this
Have you come to save my life?
pre-chorus, I guess.
Will you heal my heart?
I just can call it a chorus.
with your gentle touch.
This is what I really like.
Cut me
Now I want you to listen to this. See if you catch this.
again. Cut me, baby.
Did you catch that? We actually changed key. The song is no longer in E minor. It's now in F sharp minor. But the beautiful thing is, this songwriting, they keep the same thing. So it's 1 flat 7 flat 6 5, 1 flat 7 flat 6 5. And then it's 4 5 1 4 5 1 4 5 1 4 5 flat 7 1. Right? But it's all of that. All the same chord progressions are now in F sharp minor instead of E minor. F sharp, E, D, C sharp, F sharp. 4 5 1. And now he's playing that riff, that hook, in F sharp minor. And now Larry comes back in, and the singing, the rest of the song is in F sharp minor. So the song started in E minor. The song started in E minor, right? And then it progressed to F sharp minor. But what's interesting is we did a verse, chorus in E minor. And then once the main solo comes in, it's F sharp minor. And they just go through all of the chord changes. They go through everything, all the same progression, except in F sharp minor. And then when the singing comes back in, the singing is in F sharp minor. So you have so much going on in this song. What I love about it is that the guitar comes in heavy. The guitar, so it's not just good songwriting, it's good arrangement. The guitar comes in really heavy. And if you notice, just listen to it. It's aggressive. Here it's double tracked. And then listen when Larry starts singing.
Where does love go when it's over?
You notice that? It's really organ and bass. You have organ and bass, and of course that snare hit is it's like a firecracker, right? So you have organ and bass, and you have this snare hit that just kind of hits you every time that it sounds out, and then Larry's really smooth and gritty voice. And what's interesting about this is that Rocky's guitar playing, when he introduces the song, it comes on very aggressive. You know, and then of course is that one part where it's double tracked. But what's amazing is once Larry starts singing, you feel the undulating of the bass and organ, and then Rocky just takes this back seat with the guitar, a little chord strike here and there. Not much.
Does it vanish in thin air?
Double tracked. Now it's back to just the right ear. Still right ear.
So we can learn again to care. Could you
Now it's double tracked.
Miracle?
But you see how this builds up?
Come.
So now the guitar during this chorus, now the guitar comes in, it's double tracked again, but now the organ picks up in intensity. So it's not just good songwriting, and I've always liked Rocky Athas and how he plays and how he writes, but I love this arrangement, and I love the engineering and the production of this song. And I've never in my life introduced this song to somebody, had them say, "Oh, I know that song." Never, ever has anyone said, "Oh, I love Rocky Athas. I love the song Miracle." So to me, it's very underrated, but this is why I think we should B sharp and C. It's good songwriting. It's good arranging. It's a great studio production. And it could be because this isn't necessarily pop, I don't know why, but this song has not resonated with a large audience. And here's something interesting. I contacted Rocky after I did the podcast episode about, and I said, "Hey, Rocky, um, my name's Artie. I'm a musician, but I have time. I make videos about other artists who I think need more recognition, and artists who, kind of go under the radar as far as their songwriting skills and musicianship and everything." And he probably didn't read the whole message. He wrote back to me. You ready for this? He wrote back and said, "Sure, I'll be on your podcast." Now, of course, me being the idiot, I didn't pursue it. I was like, no, 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 no. I'm not asking you to be on the podcast. I'm letting you know that I did a podcast episode about you. And then I sent him the link. And then he wrote back saying, blessings. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Really humble guy, really nice guy. And due to a misunderstanding, he thought that I was asking him to be on the podcast. But what was interesting is he wrote back saying, "Yeah, I'll be on the podcast." And I should have jumped at that and been like, "Yeah, let me interview you." But I'm not much of an interviewer. So I just froze, and I'm like, no, 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 that's not what I'm asking for. But at any rate, this is the song "Miracle" by the Rocky Athas band. And he's got a bunch of great songs. And my favorite songs that he does is when Larry Samford is singing. So if you go to YouTube or you go to Spotify and you type in like Rocky Athas and Larry Samford, I think they did like 3 or 2 albums together. I'm guessing at this point. I don't know how many albums they've done, but great music. And Larry Samford, it never, this is something that I've learned over the years. If you have a singer who can make a song their own, who can put their voice in it and emote and turn the song into something special, that doesn't matter that they can't maybe play guitar like Jimi Hendrix or can't play saxophone like, give me a saxophone player, Kenny G, right? Doesn't matter. Vocals are so organic. So organic. It's the most organic instrument one can play. Vocals are so organic that if someone can contribute with their vocals, it's never to be, overlooked. And I think Rocky, in his relationship with the late Larry Samford, really brought out the best in Larry Samford's voice. And I also believe that Larry Samford contributed tremendously to Rocky Athas in his band. Those albums that they did together were just phenomenal. And there's a lot of good songs on them. And go check it out. Again, this is Artie Astor from B Sharp and C. Until next time, keep it groovy.